let me introduce you to the latest product in the Aqara lineup. This is the G5 Pro Camera Hub, and this is different from a lot of different cameras on the market, and one of the most interesting things about it is that it's offered in two different versions. A dual band Wi-Fi model, and then the one I have here with me is the PoE model, or Power over Ethernet, which to my knowledge is one of the only PoE cameras out there that supports HomeKit secure video natively. Now this is marketed to be an outdoor security camera, but you can use this anywhere you can run an RJ45 Ethernet cable to. And honestly, if you've been looking for a security camera that also doubles as a smart home hub, this is probably the one you'd want to consider. Along with coming in two different versions, it also has a nice list of features, including AI facial recognition, true color night vision, and multi-platform compatibility, all wrapped into one smart home hub. And before we get into breaking all that down, I do want you guys to be aware that Aqara did send this device out free of charge, but as always, I'm going to do my very best to give it to you guys straight, both the pros and the cons. So let's get to it. As soon as I got my hands on this thing, there was one key difference that stood out from any other Aqara device that I currently own, and that's the build quality. I mean, this thing is built like an absolute tank, and it feels like a premium device. Which, makes sense considering it's, meant to be an outdoor security camera that's able to withstand the elements. And since we're on the subject, this is an IP65 device that's rated to withstand and operate in temperatures as hot as 122 degrees Fahrenheit and as low as negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit, which will, most likely be ideal for the majority of the states in the US. And I am in the Midwest, and, I've never had to deal with anything outside of that range, but I am curious though to see how well it does in direct sunlight during the summertime. I've currently got the G4 video doorbell from Aqara in the front of my home, and on those warmer days in that June to August time frame, there's about a 2-hour window or so where connection seems to want to cut in and out due to that heat and direct sunlight. So I am hoping that this camera does a little better in situations like that. Eventually the plan is to use this to replace my existing outdoor security camera that's on the front of my house. I just haven't found the time yet to run a dedicated Ethernet cable. Hey guys, it's me from the future. I remember that I already had an Ethernet cable ran to one of my upstairs bedrooms, so I was able to get this mounted outside, but instead of the front yard, we actually put it in the backyard. So take a look. But when I do, it does come with this rotatable stand that can be mounted, and it also flexes, so you can get just about any angle you want. And depending on the color you need to blend in best, it's offered in either this white color or in a darker shadow gray color. Alright, let's talk about the camera itself. The camera is a 4 megapixel lens that produces 2K resolution, which is kind of that perfect resolution for us HomeKit users, as that's what, HomeKit secure video will limit any camera to anyways. Something that I've been really impressed by is a 133 degree field of view. The room I'm standing in currently is roughly 22 feet wide, and with the camera facing straight ahead at the wall, you can practically see both sides of the room clearly. And other brands have done these larger field of views before. I just feel like Aqara did a really nice job this time in limiting the amount of image distortion. The G5 Pro is also capable of true color night vision. If your intentions are to use this as a dedicated outdoor security camera, then this is a feature that you'll definitely want to have. Here's a side-by-side of another HomeKit secure video camera I use, and I think it's pretty clear and obvious which one provides a brighter, clearer image, especially in those low light conditions, which can make all the difference if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to, identify, say, a license plate or even someone's face. It almost makes you think that there might be, a light on nearby in order to produce that amount of color in these low light conditions. But this is the same exact live feed from two different cameras. And just so you guys are all aware, this product only supports full color night vision and doesn't have the capability of producing that, classic black and white night vision image. So if you ever have it in a situation where it's completely dark outside, this is where you'd want to use the built-in spotlight. And I say completely dark because this camera can still produce color video under extremely low light conditions, but the lower the illumination, the lower the frame rate will be, and you'll notice an increase in noise. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a multi-protocol hub, meaning it's not only a Matter controller, but also a Thread border router and a Zigbee hub for any of your older Aqara devices that can be integrated to your platform of preference, whether that's, Apple Home, SmartThings, or even Google Home. Currently it's able to support up to 20 different child devices, and I'm told that number may even go up after future updates. If Apple Home is your preferred platform like it is for me, then this means you'll be able to expose Matter devices to HomeKit that you might not have been able to previously. If you have any experience, with SwitchBot, then this kind of acts in the same manner as the SwitchBot Hub 2, but with all the cool features of a security camera and AI detection. And that AI detection is one of the more promising capabilities of this device, especially when it comes to automations. A few examples of this in practice are things like turning on the built-in spotlight when it recognizes a human face, or maybe just a few selected faces including your own. Or how about the ability to not only detect when a package is delivered, but also if a package has been moved after it's been delivered, acting as a potential theft notification. Now this really might come in handy if you, say, live in an apartment where the driver can't get into the building, or just an area where package theft is prominent. Aqara does offer cloud services through their Home Guardian subscription that gives you 90 days of video event history for any of their cameras. But if you want to take it one step further than either that or the backups in your, HomeKit secure video, then this camera does offer a feature that I'm already currently using with the G4 video doorbell. And that's the ability for video backup using local storage using a network attached storage system like a Synology. If this is a feature that you have the option of using, then I can't recommend it enough. And it's pretty simple to set up. You just need to be on the same network as the camera and the network attached storage system, and then know your login credentials. And even if this isn't an option, the camera does come equipped with onboard memory in either 8GB or 32GB, depending on if you have the online or offline version. And in the same way that, we've all gotten used to using the facial detection features of Apple Home, this camera also has vehicle detection. And once the vehicle detection function is turned on, the camera will take photos of vehicles and store them in the vehicle library within the Aqara app. And the G5 will determine if it, recognizes those vehicles based on things like appearance and color. And this vehicle detection feature can also detect whether a vehicle is approaching or moving away from the camera, which can be linked and trigger things like automations for opening and closing your garage door. And unfortunately at this time, it doesn't do anything with recognizing or, storing any license plate details. The biggest difference that you'll notice between the Wi-Fi and PoE models is connectivity. Specifically if you're choosing to put this device outside or in an area where your Wi-Fi strength just isn't the greatest. And every once in a while, I will lose connections with one of my many different Wi-Fi cameras in the house, but knock on wood, in the few weeks that I've been using this PoE camera, I haven't had any issues with it going offline. Now that I've been able to get hands-on with this device for a few weeks now, I can confidently say that this is a perfect device for the smart home security space, especially, for us Apple Home users. The video quality is sharp enough, the motion detection is quick and for the most part accurate, and the notifications are reliable. Even in low light conditions, the True Color Night Vision gives you plenty of detail and clarity that could, make all the difference in a critical situation. If you found this review helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and let me know your thoughts and questions in the comments. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.